What's good, YouTube? Crown Jewel from Crown Jewel Boxing, back with a gem. I want to come on and respond because Devin Haney made a statement, and I agree with it wholeheartedly. He said, if you're going to dish it out, you got to be able to take it. He needs to reiterate that to his YouTube followers, because a lot of them have take issue with him being on the opposite side of the same banter and ridicule that he uses to his advantage and wins. And you know, I mean, we have to be fair here, and we have to be adults. I'll say, I have no problem saying Devin Haney is a very, very talented young fighter. Him and his father have done a good job of getting him to the pinnacle of the sport and making a whole lot of money. They've done that while being brash, braggadocious, and very critical of some legends that came before them. Nobody cried foul when Bill Haney said his son was better than Bernard Hopkins. Nobody cried foul when Bill Haney said his son put Floyd Mayweather out of boxing. Nobody cried foul when Bill Haney said this is the Devin Haney era and basically called Floyd an old hater. Nobody cried foul. And listen, if that's your way of marketing yourself, more power to you. But do not play victim when things don't go your way and people start to use those same tactics against you. It is what it is. I think the young man said it best himself. If you're going to dish it out, you got to be able to take it. And this notion, there's a guy, Julius Williams, in my comments that said, and I have no problem with what he said. He said, it's funny that someone like myself, who's a former professional boxer, that I have no problem saying, was not as talented as Devin Haney, did not win nor fight for a world title. It's funny, I guess, that I have an opinion or that I can point out some of the things that, you know, has been said that I don't agree with. Again, last time I checked, you don't have to be elite at something to have an opinion. I think if you look at historically in boxing, Emmanuel Stewart, one of the best trainers in the history of boxing, had a sub 500 record. Angelo Dundee, one of the best trainers in the history of boxing, sub 500 record. Lou Duva, another one, sub 500 record. Bomac, one of the top trainers in the world today, sub 500 record. So this notion that if you're good at something, you know, when you fall short, you can't be judged because you're good at it or you exceeded the level that someone else has, it's just not true. I don't have to be a master chef to taste some food and know that it's good. You know what I mean? I don't have to be a world-class sprinter to know that Carl Lewis is a hell of a runner. I think everybody needs to stop being so sensitive. That's what Bill Haney said. When I got on with Bill Haney and I told him I didn't agree with how he was coming at Calvin Ford and calling, you know, 50, 60-year-old black men broke for the world to see, he said I was being too sensitive. And I took that. I didn't complain. He said I was being too sensitive when he was on Fanon, and I got to field a question to him. Okay, so Haney fans, don't be overly sensitive. When I get to look at what's going on, give my opinion, and in my opinion, state the obvious. Again, Devin Haney, hats off to you. Very accomplished young man, very, very, very good fighter. I think he stopped short of being great, but that's no knock to him. Very few people get to be great at what they do, but he's very good. He's very good. He came up short. He's a big talker when he's on the triumphant side of what's going on. He has to take the big talk when he's on the other side, the opposite side of what's going on. And his followers have to do the same. Stop being so sensitive. And if you want to take shots at me, cool, because guess what? I'm good. I only had 4 professional fights. At 2-0, I decided to step away from boxing and become a professional firefighter. I was looking at job security, pension and benefit security for my children. That's a decision I made. I feel like I was an underachiever in boxing. Do I feel I could have done more? Yes, but I have stablemates that done more. And no knock to them, but they're not living the way I'm living right now. So I think I made a good choice. I've always remained connected to boxing. I've worked for the commission. I've trained guys. I've helped with promotions. I've managed. I've been a cut man in a fight. I've done a lot of things in boxing. I've never completely walked away from boxing. But I made a decision for my family to do something different. And I think it turned out good. At 43, I retired. All I have to do is wake up on the first of the month and I will be good for the rest of my life. So you can't shame me. And guess what? When you decide to do something professionally in an entertainment business, whether it's sports or otherwise, you put yourself in a position or in a light to be judged. And you have to be cool with that. And if you're not, don't accept the applause if you can't take the jeers. And this is not for Devin Haney. This is for people that ride for him. You guys are highly critical of other fighters. You're highly critical of trainers in the game. You support all the crazy talk Bill Haney does about other people. So sit back, have a little bit of humility, and accept when it's coming back to you. Because that's life. Sometimes you're on the good side of things. Sometimes you're on the bad side of things. But when you participate in things, you got to know there's good or bad, and you're going to have a turn at both. Because one thing about them tables, they always do churn. So, Mr. Williams, I appreciate you watching my channel. I appreciate the feedback. But what I will say is be a little more understanding that when when a fighter is braggadocious or his team is braggadocious and they do a lot of big talk, just accept that when they're on the wrong side of the victory, they're going to get some of that talk back. And it's all good. It doesn't mean Devin isn't a good fighter. It doesn't mean he ain't accomplished. It just means in this situation, he had to eat a little crow. And you too, as a supporter of his. Have you ever heard me call him a bum? No. Have you ever heard me say that he's not a good fighter? No. Have you ever heard me question his heart? No. He came out on the wrong end of a very good fight on this past weekend. And as a content creator, I'm providing content with regards to that. If you have a problem with that, I'm cool. Go elsewhere. But understand, I didn't do anything personal to that man. All I did was speak on his profession, which is what I would have done had he won or lost. Nobody had a problem when I talked about how great he did against Regis Prograis when he absolutely dominated him. And I gave him his props and said, listen, he usually says he's going to beat the shit out of people and doesn't do it. This time he did it. He earned the right to say that. I didn't see you complaining then. So don't complain now. With that being said, that's all I have for y'all right now. Until next time, keep your hands up, your chin down, your ass off the floor. Peace.